it up to see, because I've always mispronounced it. I don't know if you all say it the correct way either. But according to Google, it's pronounced Habakkuk. Okay? And so we're going to read from the Old Testament. The Oracle, and I'm reading from Revised Standard rather than you all have, and what will be on the screen is from a different source, so know that. The oracle that the prophet Habakkuk saw. O Lord, how long shall I cry for help, and you will not listen? I cry to you violence, and you will not save. Why do you make me see wrongdoings and look at trouble? Destruction and violence are before me. Strife and contention arise. So the law becomes lax and justice never prevails. The wicked surround the righteous, therefore judgment comes forth perverted. Going over to chapter 2, 1-4. I will stand at my watchpost and station myself on the rampart. I will keep watch to see what he will say to me and what he will answer concerning my complaint. Then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so that a runner may read it. For there is still a vision for the appointed time. If it speaks of the end and does not lie, if it seems to tarry, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay. Look at the proud. Their spirit is not right in them, but the righteous live by their faith. Word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. When we look around us today, it is easy to get discouraged. We see churches declining in membership and in attendance. We see less civility and an erosion of the ethical and moral behavior around us. We see human trafficking, a variety of addictions, what seems to be more homelessness, lots of injustices. The wealthy get richer, or as most say, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And the middle class seems to be vanishing. Scientists tell us that with climate change, we can expect to see more wildfires, more floods, more hurricanes, more catastrophic disasters all around us. Current realities can seem overwhelming. But then, if we look at history, hasn't that always been true? Scholars think that the prophet Habakkuk is addressing people just prior to the Babylonian invasion, and they're exiling all of the Hebrew people, well, most of them, displacing them. And then in the future generation, when they returned, it would be several generations past, their homeland will be devastated. A wasteland. The returning generation will lack the traditions, the rituals, and even the understanding of faith of their forefathers and foremothers. Perhaps it's not all that different than what we may see today. The name Habakkuk means to embrace, and Martin Luther claimed that the prophet comforts and encourages the people as one fondles a poor weeping child or other person, quieting and pacifying it with the assurance that if God wills, conditions will mend. Devastation and violence have broken across their nation. It is a period of time of conflict, violence, and injustice. Rather than ignoring or escaping the painful realities around him, this particular prophet plants himself squarely where God can see him. And he has it out with God. Have you ever had it out with God? That's what I like about the Psalms, is they often are. His faithful steadfastness of watchful waiting is rewarded with a vision of the end to injustice and healing of grief. His boldness and patience suggest that Habakkuk is no stranger to such experience of consolation and clarity. that he believes the answer will come because he's seen it in the past. He's experienced it. Catholic spiritual writer Edward Hayes tells the story of the desert folks, in which a young man goes to see a wise hermit. He finds the monk sitting outside the cave enjoying the sun, his dog lying at his side. The seeker asks, "Why is it, Abba, that some who seek God come to the desert and are zealous in prayer and leave after a year or so, while others like you remain faithful to the quest of a lifetime?" The old man responds, "One day, my dog and I were sitting here quietly in the sun, as we are now. Suddenly, a large white rabbit ran across in front of us. Well, my dog jumped up, barked loudly, and took off after that rabbit. He chased the rabbit over the hills with a passion. Now, some other dogs joined him, attracted by his barking. What a sight it was to see a pack of dogs run barking across the creek, up stony embankments, and through thickets and thorns. Gradually, however, one by one, the other dogs dropped out of the pursuit, discouraged of the course and frustrated by the chase. Only my dog continued to hotly pursue the white rabbit." The confused young man asked, "But why didn't the other dogs continue the chase?" The monk responded, "They had not seen the rabbit. They were attracted by the barking of the dog, but once you see the rabbit, you will never give up the chase." Our hearts and our minds, once we have seen God, we pursue God and we are drawn to God forever. Pamela Cooper White tells us sometimes it feels as if the darkness overcomes our vision, and sometimes the sheer silence of God is drowned out by the sound of the baying hounds and busyness. The harsh noise and conflict are just the clamor of the world around us. Habakkuk, it urges us to be patient. Even in the times when we do not sense a vision, a clear path, a way out of the present difficulties, there is still a vision for the appointed time. We will discover how we are being called and what we are called to do next in our lives. Habakkuk knew that God's response was not just for him, but it was for all those in the community who were suffering. By sharing our faith with one another, we stand on the ramparts together, and we never have to cry out to God or to wait for the vision all alone. Jesus understood this, as we hear in the Beatitudes. He tells us that God has a plan and that what we see in the world today will be reversed by God in some ways. Some people see it already, and others can't yet. We can see the vision in Scripture, and we can see it in the people who have caught that vision, making the world a better place. This is a day when we celebrate the saints who followed God's vision, seeing beyond the obstacles of the current reality to a better tomorrow. They believed that they could make a difference, and they dared to try. There are a couple of songs that came to my mind as I was thinking about it. One of them comes from the musical The Man of La Mancha, where everyone thinks Don Quixote is a little bit strange, maybe even a bit crazy, because he's chasing after these windmills, and he sings this song that Andy Williams later sang: to dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear the unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chase from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow the star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. To fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lay peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to fight the unbeatable foe, to reach the unbeatable star. Isn't that what Jesus did? And isn't that what we are called to do and what the saints before us have done? The other song that I was thinking of as I was driving in heavy rain last week, going, it's hard to see the road. Sometimes it is hard to see beyond those obstacles of the current realities around us. But then we have this song that came during most of our lifetime anyway. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that have me blind. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All the bad feelings have disappeared. Here's that rainbow I've been praying for. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Friends, God has a vision for us here and now. It may not be clear yet, but in our time together, we will be writing out many things so that we can see it more clearly, and we can put the pieces of the puzzle together better, so that we can be more efficient and choose the right pasture for your future in this church. We are not alone. Together we will work to make God's vision clear for all to see. Let us keep the faith that Habakkuk, Jesus, and many of our saints have had. Let us dare to see beyond the obstacles to the God who has empowered so many, making the world a better place for us all. In Jesus' name.